Yo, it's your boy Isaiah here.
I'm Price.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Sha.
Today we're making pesto chicken pasta, so let's get it.
To start us off, I have some water in this pot, so we're gonna put this on the hot plate and I'm gonna put it on medium heat and just let the water boil before we put in the pasta or anything like that.
So now we're gonna go ahead and season the chicken while the pasta, or while the water is boiling, for that matter. So we got all our seasonings out. We're just getting a mix of seasonings, Mediterranean seasonings, so you can get this chicken nice and flavorful. And yes, we're gonna season it before it goes into the pan because we're black.
Okay, so for our seasoning we have some salt, thyme leaves, rosemary, smoked paprika, minced garlic, and ground turmeric. And I'm going to start us off with the seasoning with a little bit of salt and paprika, and then I'm going to hand it off to Genesis.
So right now, Price is just seasoning with paprika, and I am going behind her and putting the other seasonings. We got the turmeric, mixed garlic, sea salt, rosemary, and then thyme. So right now we're just doing seasoning the chicken on both sides of the chicken. So the seasoning will be throughout the whole chicken. And we kind of do this for a while because, like Isaiah said, we're black.
No lies. Now we're gonna press the chicken or the seasons into the chicken so that they're more incorporated with the chicken and that the flavor really gets infused with the chicken. Again, we do not want to have flavorless chicken, even though this is a healthy meal. It's still got to be flavorful.
So right now we are getting the oil to put into our pan before we put our chicken inside the pan to cook. So since we don't have a measuring cup, we're just eyeing it until we feel like it's enough. And then after we put the oil on there, we're going to let it sit for a little minute so it can heat up, and then we'll put the chicken on the oil so it can start to cook. But until we do that, Price will be starting to put the fettuccine inside the boiling water.
Okay, so now we're noticing that the water is actually beginning to boil. So we're gonna start to put the noodles in the pot after Genesis begins cooking the chicken. And it's just a little bit of footage, so we'll just let the sound play.
So right now the chicken is starting to cook, and we're just, it's a time lapse of the chicken cooking, and yeah.
Okay, so we're back again, and the water has began boiling. So we're gonna show you the chicken after it's like close to being done, and then we're gonna begin to put salt into the boiling water and a little bit of oil so that the noodles won't stick.
Right right now, Isaiah is adding a little sea salt to the water to give it a little flavor.
Okay. And I'm gonna begin to cut the noodles so that they're not really long and like it's enough to share with people. Looking for a knife at this moment. Okay, so I'm gonna cut the noodles into like thirds, just because it just seemed like the best idea. And now I'm gonna pour them into the boiling water.
Mm-mm. Go in there.
Okay, so now that we have the noodles in the boiling water, I'm just gonna, mix them up a little bit and separate them a little more. Just to make sure that they're not all still sticking together, since that's how it came in the package. Okay, so as you guys can see, our chicken is very close to done. We're trying to break off a piece now so we can all taste test it and see how it tastes. I think I'll let us, when we actually taste it, I'll let our actual reviews for the chicken play over instead of the voiceover.
So right now we're just breaking the chicken up and looking inside to make sure that it's cooked all the way, because nobody want to eat no raw chicken and nobody want to be sick. So we're just making sure that it's done and cooked all throughout so we can proceed with the process.
As you can see, Genesis is having struggling problems with cutting his chicken, and we are now getting pasta.
Okay, so Price is stirring the noodles, and she was about to go test if the noodles are done by throwing it against the wall. So we're just gonna play this, and it does not stick, so the noodles are done. Oh, she's gonna try again. She throws it. It doesn't stick.
So we continue to cook the noodles. And so now Isaiah is throwing the pesto into the pan so we can begin cooking with the noodles and like season and saucing them up.
Yeah, so as she said, saucing them up. We just now put, again, like she said, the pesto back into the pan that we cooked the chicken, so the chicken flavor, the pesto gets incorporated together, and we now put the noodles in and get ready for our final product. Now we're going to mix the noodles, the fettuccine in with the pesto, give it a good mix, scrape off all the sides so that we get every single last noodle incorporated. Use that technique that did absolutely nothing, or you could just keep on stirring, whatever you want. Trying to get the sides, like I said, scraped off. Apparently I didn't do a good job, so now we have Price doing the scraping. And now again, we're nearing our final stages of our meal, and we will be begin to plate just a couple of seconds. So now, after this, we must cut the chicken, and we're going to cut to that in a couple of seconds. As you can see, we're cutting the chicken, and now we're finishing cutting the chicken in cubes, so we have equal bite-sized pieces, so that we can serve everybody fairly. Here we go again. Be careful with your fingers. If you don't know what you're doing, go to an adult or somebody mature enough to cut up something without losing a finger. We do not want you to get injured, so if you do, you can sue us and we don't have money.
So right now he's gathering the chicken, after cutting it up, he's gonna put it inside the fettuccine. For our dinner.
So now that we've gotten everything done, we got the pasta, we got chicken, now we're plating it. Taking the pasta, we got the chicken, we're gonna top it with our Parmesan cheese. That'll be our dish. Perfect chicken pasta. Alright guys, thanks for listening. This is a great time to be
Bye.
here with your boy Zay,
Genesis.
Price, and Siamir.